Good afternoon eBay. This is the Weber 1988 showing a demonstration of the Eurorack UB1202FX made by Behringer. Before we start, just stress that this audio is recorded through the camera inbuilt microphone, so it's in no way indicative of the actual audio output of the Behringer. Okay, let's get started. Well, first off, it hasn't been used much. I've had it for about 4 years now. It's supposedly been in a bag most of the time, as it just did not get the use I envisioned for it. So it has had a minor bump, which I'll display here, just in the corner there. However, while I've been using it, it's always been covered up by electrical tape, black non-glossy electrical tape. It actually goes very well with the black edging on either side, and yeah, but as I'll show in this video, everything works perfect, and I'll give a brief run through of how it all works. Okay, so I'll put this down so the camera focuses. Essentially what it's got is the power at the back. That's the only thing at the back, is the power point, and I'll plug it in for you. Just 1 second. Okay, so it's just a general PS2 kind of plug. Here we go. There we go, and on we go. Make sure that's in camera frame, perfect. Okay, so what it's got is 12 inputs, so we've got 4 microphone, all XLR, or you can either have guitar balanced or unbalanced as well, so if you've got microphones that use the 1/4 inch connection, so you've got 4 of them. Then you've also got 4 stereo, but they're counted as separate inputs. So in total we got 12, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, let's run through, do a simple test of every channel just so you can see it's working. What I'm using here is the Behringer supercardioid mic, so I'll just plug that in via XLR. Okay. So first I'll turn the gain up on this channel, which goes, I generally put it around there, put it over there, and then I'll turn the master up to 0. Okay, and just to test, we can see clearly in the meter that it is working perfectly. Turn up the volume a bit, and yes, that's all working fine. Okay, you've also got the FX channels here. I'll go over them in more detail after to show you the FX unit built in here. But you've also got FX sends here on every single channel, so you can output either to the inbuilt FX processor or an external FX there. Okay, I'll go over the detailed mic channel anyway now. So you've got on every channel the XLR input, the 1.1 inch input, the gain. This is the EQ, so you've got the highs, the mids, and the lows. And this one, this button here is to clip out anything below 80 Hz. So with 80 Hz, it's like a bit of handling noise, a bit of background noise. Generally wise, I usually keep it on when I'm recording, but yes, it is very useful. You've got the FX send, the pan, so you can either have it to right, as the meter shows, or to stereo, or to the left. And you've just got the master volume for that channel there. Okay, each channel does have a clip, so if I turned it up full, there we go, and tap the mic, you can see the clip lighting up there, which shows that the channel is clipping, which shows easy access to what's playing up. You generally don't want to have the gain up, the gain, which is this, up all the way, as you will get a fair bit of hissing. Okay, so I generally keep it around 3/4. Okay, so that's that channel working, as you can see. So I'll try the second channel. Turn that down. Once again, where's the thing? Yep. Once again, we've got full tests, full lights going, all the channels working perfectly, detecting my voice. Okay, got the mids once again button there, so that's all working fine. Turn that one off. Channel 3, if you can come out, there we go. Channel 3, and here we go. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Perfect. So we've got that channel down. Or it's always recommended to turn the gain down before you unplug it, especially when you're using condenser mics, which I'll explain shortly, as you can use them on this board. Okay, and final is the gain on this one. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Okay, so we've got all the channels working. Okay, that's that one. Okay, I'll just go over briefly now, as we're still on the mics, the difference between just dynamic microphones, which require no power to operate, and condenser microphones. I've got one here, the Rode, I think it's the NT1A. Yes. So I'll plug that in here. Down the bottom. Go in, please. Come on. There we go. Okay, so we've got the phantom power button here, this button here, that supplies power to all the mic ports. You want to make sure that whenever you're unplugging anything, that you make sure the phantom power is off, otherwise you can damage the board and the microphone. So now, as you can see, it's a lot more sensitive using the condenser mic, and condenser mics are generally a lot higher quality than dynamics. They pick up a lot more due to their power. However, the downside is they're a lot more fragile. Okay, so that's all working fine. I won't show a thing of the phantom on every plug, just as it will take too much time. Okay, so I'll turn that off and let that decharge. Okay, I'll put that down. Okay, now we're going on to the line ins, which are these for here. So I've got my phone here that's going to output a song. Okay, I'll just input my pin. Okay, so I'll plug these in. So I've got just a 3.5 jack into my phone and 2/4 inch stereo into these. So I'll plug them in there. I'll turn this mic down so we don't get any interference from the mic that's still powering down. Okay, and I'll start the music. There we go. Just make sure it's a good loud song. There we go. So we'll turn this up, and once again we've got full input there. This isn't a loud song that shows the full movement. There we go. Okay, so once again we've got that. Now for these ones, you don't have an EQ on the stereo line-ins. You've still got the FX send, which, as you can see, it's now receiving. So now clipping the FX, so you want to make sure you don't clip that. The red light indicates it's clipping. Okay, you've got pan again on every one, and volume on every one. This button here increases the sensitivity for either a home studio environment or a studio environment, so you press that if you want it more sensitive or less sensitive. The manual that will be included does contain all the instructions for that. It's provided in English here, as well as any other language. There's a whole heap of them. Okay, so this channel's working. I'll swap it round. Okay, once again, we've got full signal. My phone's complaining it's dead, but don't worry about that. As in dead battery, not anything else. Okay, once again. And once again. Okay, so there we go. All channels work, no problem whatsoever. Okay, now I'll turn that down and unplug it so we can see what we're doing. FX. So you've got a FX processor built in. I'll bring over the sheet here, which will be included in the box, but it lists every single effect that's in there. So to choose the effects, they're all numbered. So for example, I want, let's say, short delay 3, which is 1 to 2 short impulses. So you turn that to 52. it'll show it's flashing by select that it's not selected, and just press into select, and there we go. So now short delay free selected. To input FX to the mix, you just turn that one up. Make sure the channel that you want the FX applied onto is there, and you've got FXs going through your main mix now. With that, just don't. The FX isn't of the highest quality. It's great. It's fine for live, but you're going to get a hiss if you're recording. If you're recording an environment, it's very noticeable. It's noticeable when you're recording as you listen to it again and again. So if you're recording, I'd use inbuilt effects on the computer, as while it's good for live and it's good for testing and all that, you do not want to use it on a live recording, on a proper recording for an EP or whatever. Okay, so that's that. That's all the effects. So I'll put that back. It doesn't really matter. Okay. So now we'll go over the outputs. So we've got the FX send, which I've talked about. So the red controls. You've got headphones, so phones. The phone's control is here. This also controls the control room out. So you've got 2 1/4-inch outputs for control room, which is also controlled by that. You've got the main mix out, which is the main volume here. And you've also got CD tape in and out, which I will use to show that it's how to go to the computer shortly. You've got buttons here, so CD tape to mix. So if you want to input it directly to into the mix to go out through there, just press that button. CD tape to control room. Once again, you'll go out to control room, or FX to control room. So if you want these to go out the FX control, just press the button in and press it off when finished. Okay, now let's do a sample on record. Okay, for some reason my camera cut out, so shouldn't have missed too much. So I'll go over it again. I've got the Behringer UCA 202 here, which I use to connect my laptop to the board. So I've just got 2 RCA connections, which are pretty much found on any old TVs or whatever. I've just got an old cable for this example, going into left and right input. Chuck that over there. And to connect to the computer, I just chuck them in out. So we want it going out the board, out those 2. So let's turn up the master mix again and plug in my phone. So we've got an audio sample going through. Let's chuck it in this channel. Okay, so once again we've got audio going through. Okay, and let's go to Audacity. So Audacity is a free program. I'll just turn this down a bit so we can see. Okay, so I'll move my screen forward. So as we can see now, hopefully, there we go. Just make sure I don't drop the laptop. Okay, the output's there. So the laptop is slightly more sensitive, so you just want to control the volume until it's not peaking. So see, there we go. Now it's not peaking. So in any case, we've got perfect output from the audio board, all working properly. And yeah, the board, I've never had a problem with it. I just haven't used it much as my recording things didn't go to plan. So yeah, it's pretty much very good condition, except for the dent at the bottom there, which I will take a closer picture of on eBay. Okay, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. As said, the package contents will include the board, the power cable, and the manuals. I will not be including the USB interface, as I still do use that. So it includes all the manuals, all the contact information for Behringer, and the FX information, so what each number does. So delay and phaser, pitch and reverb, etc. Plus technical diagrams for those who are interested. Okay, hopefully you enjoyed watching this video, and hopefully it was informative. And yeah, if you have any questions, send me a message. The eBay username is theweber1988. Thanks for watching.